Chael, thanks for this opportunity. Erik McGregor here of Combat Sports Law. Chael, you said a lot of things that I disagree with, back and forth over the last week on Twitter, on social media, but you gave me this opportunity to come on your channel and respond. And you've got a big platform, Chael. I respect the size of the YouTube channel that you've built up and for letting me come on here. So I want to take this opportunity to talk about chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Now, it's better known as CTE. And CTE is a deadly, serious brain disease. And when I use the word deadly, I mean it. It's presently incurable. There's no known cure for CTE. And CTE is linked to chronic repeated brain rattling. And it's prevalent in combat sports, whether it's boxing or MMA or kickboxing. If you get your brain rattled around too many times over too many years, you're susceptible to develop this disease. And it's not limited to combat sports. Other contact sports have many cases of CTE proven. But in combat sports, it's important to talk bluntly about CTE. Now, there's really good work being done in Las Vegas. It's called the Professional Athletes Brain Health Study. It started with boxing and MMA, and these doctors are studying the brains of athletes that donate them, and these doctors are studying athletes while they're alive. A lot of athletes are doing good work. Just this week, MMA pioneer Julie Kedzie made international headlines for pledging to donate her brain to be studied for CTE. So kudos to her and to all the athletes participating. But some of the data coming out of Las Vegas is showing that there is, I'll call it encouraging data. It shows that more educated fighters are getting CTE at lower rates. And we could speculate why this is, but in short, it looks like it's because they're making better decisions with their career. They're starting combat sports later. They're retiring earlier from combat sports. During their career, they're taking fewer bouts and they're basically taking less damage in their career. So these more educated fighters are making better decisions when it comes to how much brain rattling they expose themselves to. I'm just going to shift gears for a little bit. I want to talk about concussions because there's other data that came out recently about concussions in combat sports. Some researchers polled a whole bunch of coaches in MMA and Muay Thai and kickboxing and boxing. And the data that was revealed was pretty sad. It's pretty sobering. Basically, only 6% of the coaches had adequate concussion knowledge. And if the coaches don't understand concussion, that's a bad thing because that means their students aren't going to understand concussion. Now, when you put these two things together, it actually paints an encouraging picture because education makes a difference and there's room for a lot more education about brain health in combat sports. That's the equation here. So last year, I was invited by some really good people doing work in this sphere. Rose Gracie, who's been advocating for years with the Concussion Legacy Foundation, and Carla Duran, who really is a lifelong advocate when it comes to fighter well-being. Both of them invited me to work with them and advance brain health education studies in combat sports. And the three of us teamed up with the Association of Ringside Doctors. Now, Chael, you maybe know who these guys are. These are the men and women who sit ringside at every fight. They're the doctors that make sure if something goes terribly wrong, that the fighters get the emergency intervention that they need. Other than fighters, these guys have the hardest job in combat sports. The three of us met up with the Association of Ringside Physicians. We talked to their whole board, and they unanimously approved a project we were working on. And so we created concussion and CTE posters for combat sports gyms. Let me grab these. So we've got a very basic poster here talking about CTE. Put this up at your gym if you are involved in combat sports. This just reminds people that CTE is real. And CTE is linked with repeated brain rattling. One study showed that some fighters take 90% of their brain damage in the gym. That's not necessary. You don't get paid for the hits in the gym, and that's a fixable problem. If you talk bluntly about CTE, you remind your students about it, people could make better choices, and people could have less long-term harm, and fewer people can get this deadly, serious disease. And the other thing we've done, working with the Association of Ringside Physicians, is we created this Concussion Basics poster. Now, a concussion is just a brain injury. You got hit too hard and you get some symptoms. And you're seeing other sports develop concussion protocols, but they're lacking in combat sports. Too many gyms don't take concussions seriously. So put this up on your wall. If you train, if you own a gym, make sure there's a concussion policy. Make sure athletes remove themselves from sport when they're concussed, and make sure they safely come back to sport. That way they look after their long-term well-being. Folks, we have these up for free. Now, Chael, you talked a lot of nasty stuff about my Twitter feed, but if anybody goes there, my first pinned tweet is a link to these posters, and they're available free of charge for anybody who wants them. Or if you don't want to give me the clicks, go to the Association of Ringside Physicians website, and they've got these posters up for free for anybody who wants them under the tab Fighter Resources. Now, shifting gears really quickly, Chael, you said a lot of things, and some of those things were pretty nasty. And I think it's safe to say that you and I disagree about a whole lot when it comes to the antitrust lawsuit, when it comes to exploitative contracts in combat sports, when it comes to issues of fighter well-being from financial exploitation. And I just want to talk about Foreign. You said a whole bunch of stuff on Twitter. You said a whole bunch of things in my DMs. I said a whole bunch of things on Twitter. You made a video. I'm now making a video. This is no way to debate. Let's give the people a real debate. Fight Circus. They'll promote it. They'll come up with the contract. You sign it. I sign it. Let's debate face to face in real time. Fight Circus will make it entertaining, and we can give the people the debate that they didn't know they wanted. But in the meantime, take this concussion poster, take the CTE poster, please put it up on whatever gyms you train at and help spread the word. Thank you.